Oh, you know what? Y'all, normally I would say, hey, thank you for being a patron to so and so, but I was ill prepared because I am trying to battle the death of this fly. So, thanks to whoever is a patron or a member, I really appreciate it. So yeah, and with that, I'm just gonna get into the show. So, as George would be like, roll that clip, which is so silly, George. I love you, but silly. So, with that. Hi, welcome to the Horror Hour. Place we discuss, we debate, we disagree on all things horror. I'm one of the hosts today, Yutaka. Hello, and today I'm joined by two amazing guests. First is Sharai from Nightmare on Fear Street and Blurty Massacre. How are you?
I am good. I am good. I don't have a fly haunting me, so I'm doing better than some. Thank you for
Fair.
having me in your time of trauma.
Oh my god, it's literally right there on the light, and I want to spray it, but you know what? You know what, bitch. And all right, so moving on. Thank you for joining. This is gonna kill me. Anyways, and then I'm also joined by Alma, who from horror movie blog. Go check it out. Seriously, it's amazing.
Yes,
I
thank
haven't. I
you.
need to check it out myself.
Yeah.
I can't lie. Sorry, y'all. I just found out about it. I just know her because I've been on Nightmare on Fear Street talking Chucky, and she's just a badass bitch.
Oh,
So
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I absolutely love meeting for Chucky Talks, and that's where I met you, and you're awesome. I had my own podcast, but I've been on a kind of really long hiatus because I lost my co-host. They're live, just mean and ditched me. And so I'm running horror movie blog. Now it's fairly new. So we're just trying to like kick it up a notch this year. We just added a Patreon. So check it out,
yay!
horrormovieblog.com.
Well, today our topic is something near and dear to my heart, trauma. Because Sheree decided to get everybody and their grandparents, I mean, everybody, seriously, and I love this, to watch
Literally.
The Coffee Table. And it is so good.
Listen,
Y'all, I don't want to spoil it. Just know, go into it blind, and it really is probably one of the best films this year just because of how disturbing and messed up it is.
100%. And also, we talked about it so much that enough people talked about it that where Stephen King watched it. And so Stephen King tweeted about it. So he's late to the party. And so when you said everybody and their grandparent, I was like, yeah, we got somebody's grandparent already.
I had been dying to watch it for so long because Sheree had been talking about it so long. I started getting irritated. Like, when the hell am I going to get to watch this movie? When? And now that I did, I still don't talk about it except to tell people watch it because it's so incredible. But I won't give anything. Like, I don't say anything other than you just need to watch it. It's like it's something you don't want to ruin anything. Like, there's no way to not ruin anything either when you talk about it, other than it's amazing and you have to
like
see it with
the
your
horror. Well, honestly, it's really just how they all react. It is and the acting. Y'all, the acting is what sells it for me, is why it's gut-wrenching to watch. But it's so good. It's just I love when a movie can go to places that, you're like, oh, it's kind of taboo, but you're like, wait, but it's not going overboard, and it's
It was made for me because it is the darkest comedy. After the initial, what the fuck did I just see? I went back to make sure I saw what I saw. I laughed. I laughed so much while also internally crying.
Yeah, because the lunch scene, I was dying. I was laughing so hard, but I was like, this is not okay to be laughing. But I was like, this is like so well written.
Listen, that filmmaker, I just want everything else that he's got coming out. Just gonna put it in my inbox. I'll write the reviews as we go. Please don't miss me.
I want to read that dream journal. There's got to be some ideas in there because this is a movie that I could have never imagined any of the situation happening. And when something happens, you still don't like, you got to wrap your head around like, why is this still going on? And this uncomfortable laughing that I'm doing, even though, like you said, it's like the darkest comedy. You're laughing, but I want to
Mhm.
hold it because I'm like, I'm trying to feel everything that's going on, but you feel it. It's palpable. Your heart is racing. You're uncomfortable, but you're just like, the hell is this? And it's too many emotions.
Before I saw that movie at Soho Horror in November,
Mhm.
Saltburn was the funniest dramatic thing I saw. Because Saltburn is the darkest comedy. Like people are like, I hate it. I don't like joy. I'm like, fuck you. I'm here for this. I enjoyed the fuck out of Saltburn. And I was like, that's the darkest comedy I'm gonna see. And then the coffee table rolled in, I was like, bitch, what? And like, I'm so sorry. I did not know we could go lower. I apologize.
It's so good. It's so like I am so happy I could see it. I was really bummed because I was like, hey, is he doing interviews? And they're like, unfortunately, we don't have an interpreter. And I was so close, like, damn, maybe I'll just hire an interpreter just because I want to know things. Like, I want to know because like there's just so much. And also I do love seeing the studio has been nothing but also just like showing praise and like trying to get more people to see it. And they should, because it truly it is just it's in my top this year. I don't see anything really knocking it down.
Easily in my top 3-4 because like things keep moving around for me. I've not seen 10 good movies this year, so it will be in the top 10 no matter what. But like it's somewhere in the top 3-4 because like this is also the year of Monkey Man, which is a different vibe. But like Dev Patel beating shut up people and giving us classism and like giving us queer heroes,
giving us shirtless, giving us sweat, giving us
that needs to break me.
Please.
Badass trans warriors, like, oh my, that scene alone was just like beautiful, vicious, and
yes, it was so amazing.
Right. Like, and just like seeing how he talks about it, because like this movie was gonna go to Netflix, and Netflix is like, nah, we don't like to win. And so he's like, what's happening with the movie? And like Jordan Peele saw it and was like, your movie's amazing. I'm calling Universal. Is that okay? And Deb was like, yes, please. Because like I put everything I had in this movie, and we like did it over COVID, and it was gonna be in the floor somewhere, somebody's tax write off. I don't know. And so I love the story of Monkey Man, and I'm judging Netflix even harder, knowing that they saw that and was like, we don't like to win here. Take it away, Dev.
Instead, they're putting out Atlas, which it's actually not that bad. This comes out after the movie's already embargo's already up. It's not. I mean, it's not great.
I never heard of it. But also, they're the people who were like, let Emily go to Paris one more time. So, like, what do they know?
I'm not gonna say anything bad about that because guilty pleasure. But 4 seasons. Four really?
Seasons.
I'm fairly
certain that bitch went to Paris 4 seasons.
I'm pretty sure it's the 4th season is coming out.
You know what? I want to talk to them and be like, what is your strategy? Is your strategy what? Because like Emily, Monkey Man.
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's those are 2 different levels. Like Monkey Man is through the roof, and Emily's just nepotism. I know. No.
It might because like is it like a basic white girl quota? Is that what's going on? Did I miss that memo? Like they need like 19 at all times. And she happened to be number 18, so she's in again. Like
oh my god. Oh, best thing about the show, which you all are very well aware, we go on tangents. And so this is going to be a chaotic episode. So as we talk about Emily in Paris, again, trauma, and what Netflix will inflict on us. Because I mean, Madam Web is number 1, which, to be fair, that was probably one of my favorite press tours right now. Like Dakota Johnson's press tour for that is one of the best things you'll ever see, in my opinion. This is like when Ridley Scott was doing the House of Gucci press tour, because I was dying. Have you seen, do you remember him?
Yeah, I did.
The press tour?
I didn't watch any of those press tours.
I
was like, House of Gucci is gonna miss me anyways. Also,
yeah, like, but unhinged. He was unhinged, and I loved it.
He's like, put bad wigs on these men, and we're gonna make up history. And people are like, not accurate. He's like, I'm really Scott. So, like, it's just
It's very true.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. Sorry, guys, don't cancel me. I love Gaga, but I was not going to sit there and watch that.
Me and Gaga are on a healing journey. We are. I am so close to being able to pretend I forgive her, and I love that for us.
Fair.
Yeah.
Insert Nurtec ad. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. But yeah, back to trauma. I decided, you know what? You've heard me before talk about some films that have really just left a number on me. I thought, what about having other people on here and let's hear about some films that traumatized them? And something tells me I know I'm in for a ride and probably going to have to watch some films because I've got to at least see them. Can't wait. So I am just going to go in order. So Alma, I'll start. Give me your first traumatic film. I'm preparing myself.
This is so strange for me because at first I made a list because I thought of like all the traumatic movies I could think of, and I love making lists. And so I was like writing everything about that. And I was like, what is traumatic to me? Well, one of the movies that I just don't want to watch again ever, it's like a really good movie. And it's a strange kind of trauma. So like when we covered it on the show on my podcast with my sister, I actually had to stop because I was crying so bad. And I don't normally have a trigger warning or like a content warning that I give for child death. It's not like I compartmentalize really well, you know, like I think that I do. I'm actually a mother, so I think I'm pretty good at it. Things like that they're very light to me. I can take the kid jokes. I can take the kids getting killed in movies. I love fuck them kid movies. It's just that this particular movie was so haunting to me, and the story was so real and sad that it actually depressed me for like a week. It was El Orfanato, and the orphanage, and it is the saddest fucking movie I've ever seen. It just completely left me like feeling empty. The haunting of it is so good. Like the story is so good. I'm getting scared. I'm like, is this a real fucking ghost? What's happening here? And this, you know, they're like in this orphanage, this woman buys it, and she's like, she wants to have a home for sick kids and orphans, and her own son is sick. He has HIV. And so the movie is about him being lost. He is lost. And then when you find out everything that happens, it's like, it's just devastating to me. It has those really scary moments, but that for me was probably the biggest trauma in any movie I've ever seen. And it's just a weird thing too, because it's like, it's not really that there's really, you're not seeing anything that's, you know, gratuitous or gory or oh my gosh, like the violence isn't there, but the realism in that pathetically sad story is what traumatized me. And I hope that's not a bummer for me listening, because it's actually
it's really
a great movie.
List though too, as it is. But I totally get it. Like there are some movies that are just they're bangers, but you're like,
that was like
yeah.
It's just like a trauma that I think is like a different kind, and it's probably the only one like on all my lists that is kind of in that's different from the rest of them. But I think I will chalk it up to really good writing, excellent acting, and just like a really good like haunting child, you know, ghost story as well. It's like really good.
Hey, it's a good pick to me. I haven't seen it in a while, so now I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
And now
I will send you my therapy bills.
Oh, okay. I'm like, yes, don't be bummed. I'm like, I don't want to ruin anything. That's why I was like, I'll get it out of the way. That way we can go on and talk about
I'll watch it before bed. That's what I'll do.
Like, controversial take, it's one of my favorite things that has Del Toro's name attached, even though he's a producer who just like gave his friend notes for the script. But it's one of my favorite things his name is attached to. And I know people are like, how dare you? And I'm like, I said what I said.
It actually is. It's just it's an excellent shot movie. The scene is excellent. I love like the mood of the whole movie. It's like, what is that? You just kind of questioning your sanity. And little kid ghosts to me, I will watch watch anything with little kid ghosts. Ghost movies with kids, I'm like, I love that shit. I want to go and stay in a haunted house that has a little kid ghost in it. I will make it my friend. I will. But this one wasn't it.
That is some white people shit to say that. Absolutely not.
I'm like, I got that out of the way since I was a kid, because we were always just trying to scare the crap out of each other. And so I've always just loved, like, scary stories with kids in it. It's just, it's something that I love, that kind of thing. It's like most people might find like haunting movies or like a haunted house. I'm sorry. But, we were talking about Melissa Barrera recently in Bed Rest.
Yeah.
That is like a haunted house story too.
That movie is underrated.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, because first off, Melissa Barrera is that girl. She's gonna give you performance, even if the movie doesn't deserve her. But like, she also produced that bitch, and so she said it with her full chest. The people are like, "We don't know, we can't see it." But I'm just like, "Where all y'all at?" Because you make a lot of noise on Twitter, but you've not seen Bed Rest, which has been on Tubi for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
I saw that. I remember I got a screener for it because I was like, this looks interesting. And they're like, would you want to speak with the director? I go, really? All right. Well, and I remember just sitting there looking at her and go, so I got a question. She's like, yeah. I was like, who's doing like a wellness check on Melissa after you put her through that hell? Like, because like her acting was incredible. She's like, I'm going to sell it. And she effing did. I love Bed Rest because I thought it was just so underrated.
Like, I have never seen her step up to the plate and not go 156%. While everybody else is playing checkers. And so, like, when people come at her about her acting, I'm just like, you clearly take brown women, because like she's doing better than the other final girls in some of these movies that you seem to love.
Like, what? She's amazing. Haters.
Yeah, right.
I absolutely agree. Seriously, she is.
Had her name been Melissa Bowman, she would not have half the hate she gets.
That name sounds so funny to me, though.
Because it's a girl who's never seen a seasoning. She will never.
Fair. Yeah. I could.
Double boiled chicken is what she's eating. Her credit score is amazing.
Shut up!
Her credit score. Oh my god. Why does this brings me back to like the one time growing up, I was at my neighbor's house, and like the families were all over there, and they were serving this food, and they put rice on my plate, and I just go, no. And my mom's like, I go, no. And she's like, what? I go, this is minute rice. I'm not eating this. And my mom's like, I'm so sorry. Mind you, my mom, she's the white half, and my dad's Asian. So, and my dad wasn't there, but I was a sob about it. And I'm like 6 or 7. I can't remember. But she's like, I'm so embarrassed. I go, why?
Right? Like, she should take you to places where they make real rice. That's her first mistake. I blame your mom for that. I'm so sorry I didn't endure that.
She was she's like, be polite. No. And it was more like, we'll fire up the rice cooker when we get back home. No, because that's not something we ever had in our household growing up. Like that was a thing. You just didn't. So like when I see this texture and all this on the plate, I'm like, no. Mm-mm.
If you can't cook, don't invite people over to your house for food that you're cooking, because that's mean. I can't cook, so I don't have people over for food. I have people over for drinks. Because in the pandemic, I had to make a mean martini, and I'm like, let's do this. Yay. I'm not gonna be like, come over here and get some food poisoning and some sadness on your plate. Why? Why? Like, I don't eat what I made. Why would I make other people do it? Like, audacity.
All right. So, Sharai, what's your first pick? Oh God. I'm ready.
My first pick is a throwback. It's an Australian horror movie from the 70s called Wake and Fright. It's basically this young man finds himself in Australia and he's down on his luck, and so he like befriends an older man played by Donald Pleasance. Wow, Donald Pleasance. But in this movie, Dr. Loomis, if for those of you who don't know who Donald Pleasance is a wild boy. You will see his nips quite a lot. I did not want to see his nips, but I saw them many times. I don't know for whom, but it's kind of like, I don't want to ruin it for people who've not seen it because it is a throwback, because Uncharted occasionally. But anyway, he befriends this older man, and it's all about like masculinity and like will they, won't they? And then they do, but it's very conflicting and confusing, and it's a total dialogue starter. So like content warnings. But like while they're doing the whole men are men thing, they decide to go out into the outback because Australia, and you see people shooting kangaroos, and while you're watching the movie, you're like, this is real. This is not fake. This is not fake. And at the end of the movie, the director, white man, put up a statement about how what happened with the kangaroos is not his fault. He hired professionals. And so, like, it's fine.
I'm sorry.
When you do the
he hired professionals
to shoot real kangaroos for his movie. So, like, we have a random snuff movie for kangaroos inserted in this movie that's already traumatizing because Dr. Loomis's nips. I grew up on Halloween. I never see his shirt off. And I did, but I was being a trooper because I'm an adult. And I was like, but also dead kangaroos, Dr. Loomis, are you fucking serious? So, like, this director and his little title card he puts at the end to like make himself look like he's innocent does not tell you the tea. If you Google Wake and Fright and you Google the kangaroos, the professionals he hired were drinking while shooting the kangaroos and they were missing. So there were kangaroos just like screaming and shit on the ground and these dudes were laughing. So kangaroo torture for a mid-ass movie from the 70s.
Jesus. Y'all, I was not prepared when I was coming. Okay.
When you say trauma, I go to hell. Like that's
damn. Damn.
Oh. And that's my first one. That's 3 because I'm descending.
Oh my God. Well, okay. Well, I'm gonna start. Okay. It was at this moment he knew he fucked up. That's me right now.
I need the picture of the nips, though. I need you to pull up a photo. Like, where do I find the nips?
No, because I'm gonna watch this. No? I will watch this.
You can Google Wake and Fright, Donald Pleasance, and like he had a shirt on for maybe 3 scenes. So like odds are you'll see his nips and whatever you pull up. Because he was just like, come on out here, we're men. And I was like, Dr. Loomis, put him away.
Put those tits away.
Right? And of course Australian accents too, which is also a thing. It didn't really register because I was looking at his nips and then the kangaroos, but I was like, this is in Australia, so there had to be been accents. They had to say that with accents. Like, I discovered this movie because I was a guest on Horror Queers, and that's what we pulled because we were like, we haven't seen it. We like Donald Pleasance, and then we were like, what have we done? What have we done?
Oh my God, I'm really excited about this. I'm terrified but excited. Not about the title card, everything else.
Because like, this feels real. And then he's like, it was, but it's fine. Like, it's not fine. And then like Google was like, it's worse than you know. And I was like, thanks, Google. I hate this man.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll if we were recording, but some of mine aren't horror, but it is to me. Have you all? I'm like pulling from films that people probably heard. Well, at least I mean, the Wake and Fright. That's not one I've heard. So, all right. Let me just. Have you all seen 1 Hour Photo?
Yes. Okay. It's been a while. I think when it came out, I must have seen it.
I just for the second time only have I rewatched it because I knew we were going to talk about film. Like that film was so unsettling and so disgusting. Like I felt so gross and like I really felt like this is Robin Williams. What's happening here? Why is he? No.
I saw it as a child. I didn't see it as an adult, but as a child, because Robin Williams was everybody's imaginary friend, and he was like Mort, and he was the genie. And so I was like, he's always fun. I'll watch kid movies if he's in it. And so when he was like, I'm gonna do something from hell, I'm like, you remembered it's me. Thank you. And so I think I watched it twice. We had to take the tape back because again, I was a child, and so I should watch as an adult now that I can understand just how disturbing it is.
Like just his like him having like these mental or like these dreams, these fascinations, like inserting himself into the family. It was so cringe, but not like ooh cringe. Like it was just like
scary cringe.
Like something's off. And then as you like start to see his descent into madness and just what he does and puts the family through, it is so wild because again, the entire time the same thing. I'm like, this is Robin Williams. This is the guy who I was like, I wanted to marry you in the birdcage. What is happening here?
Tangents. Can we talk about how the Birdcage press tour, they keep bringing up the clip? Because again, we were children, so we didn't know. There's this clip of him and Nathan Lane on Oprah's couch, and this is 90s Oprah. So she was at her peak. I'm doing dates on television, I'm a villain. And she's like, Nathan, aren't you worried people are going to worry about, being, And you can tell Nathan's uncomfortable because he'd not come out at that point yet, which as a child, I didn't think he needed to come out, but whatever.
Wait, what?
Right. And so Robin Williams did what he had apparently been doing their whole tour, as Nathan Lane tells people, and just sort of stepping in because he knew his friend was uncomfortable, and also that question's bullshit, and was like, well, they should worry about me. And he like makes it a funny thing, and he like deflects. And I'm just like, Oprah, you and that haircut came for Nathan Lane of all people. And then you turn around years later and let Tom Cruise dance on your fucking couch. Oprah. So yeah.
That's what I have 3 movies that I've always thought showed the best range, like performance from Robin Williams. That's one of them. The 1 Hour Photo and Birdcage. And then there's the other one. I can't quite remember the World's Best Dad or Father of the Year.
The one with Billy Crystal and they find their kids.
Bobcat Goldthwait is the one who directed it. I can't pronounce his last name. Bobcat.
Oh, I know you're the guy. Yeah.
It's a really sad movie, but I thought that those really showed like his range and like comedic.
I thought it was a comedy.
We were thinking of a different movie because there's one with him and Billy Crystal, and they're trying to figure out who the dad is. And this is the drama. Apparently.
No, this is the one where his son,
according to Garp.
It's a movie where his son passes away, and
is this What Dreams May Come? No,
that's when the wife passes away.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look it up. He has a son in the movie, and the premise is that his son dies accidentally. He makes it look different, and then he has to like roll with what he's done because he doesn't want anybody to know actually how his son had passed away. The movie is so sad, but he is so good, and he just is such a serious role, and it's just like a heartbreaking movie. I don't recommend people watch it most of the time because I'm like, it's just sad. I feel bad watching it because I don't like watching sad shit. That's a kind of like, that's like my thing. Like, I don't like watching things that are going to make me cry. And he was so good in it. And in 1 Hour Photo, he scared me to where it was like, I can't believe he can do that. Birdcage made me laugh so much. I love that movie. Watch 100,000 times. Like, you just never get tired of it. And this other one, I'm like, I hope I never see this movie again just because I just was so sad.
I loved him so much because, again, as a kid, I was very sheltered, so I never got to go outside. So I didn't know what decade it was in. So all his 80s stuff, I was like, this is current. As a kid, I saw him in Moscow on the Hudson, and like he goes to a different country, and he's like, I forget the word now. I almost said deflect. It's not deflect. But he's like, he gives up his citizenship because he hits the soil, and he could do that back then. And like, can we do that?
Oh, defect.
Thank you. That's my word. And so I remember looking at my mom, be like, can we defect? We go to a different country? And she was like, no, that's not how that works. Like, well, he just did it. He just did it. And so again, but like he was always on TV because he was everywhere and he was always trying. And I have yet to see a clip where I'm like, Rob Williams is the problem. He's usually trying to stop the problem the best way he can, which is how you should be using your privilege. It's a masterclass. Watch the Rob Williams clips because he's always on the right side of Oprah.
World's Greatest Dad. World's Greatest Dad is the movie I was talking about. Okay, so
let's see that.
If you want to be sad, watch it.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. All right. Well, okay. See, mine's tame compared to theirs. All right, y'all. I was not prepared. So, Alma, let's go to your number 2.
Okay, so speaking of tamed, that's perfect segue because the movie I was going to mention is The Untamed. It's it's got the possession vibes, but it's directed by Amat Escalante. It's that movie where the lady is there's like this strange. Have you guys seen it? Like, I don't want to ruin anything about it.
I know the how old is this movie?
This is from 2016.
Oh, never mind.
2016. Yeah, it says desperate to flee but consumed by fear. I've written down the synopsis just in case. Alejandra, young mother and working housewife, is trapped in a violent and unsatisfying relationship with her husband, and she leans on her brother, who has secrets of his own, and their life is turned upside down when they meet this woman who visits something in a shed in the woods. And there's like this creature in it that's like an alien, perhaps something that came to the earth. It has the sickest thing I've ever seen with my eyes that I could not unsee. It was so horrifying. I could say some of the things without spoiling it, because there was like this moment where there was like this massive animal orgy happening, where all the animals, they just like, it piques their sexuality. Yes, like this beast thing.
No.
Unleashes your sexual frustration in like getting it out, like and so there's like this moment when they come across the woods and there's like deer and squirrels, and every damn animal is just doing it. So it's just like this massive scene of every kind of animal that's in, and woodland creature. It ruins chipmunks, it ruins squirrels, it ruins deer. Everything is just doing it in the forest. And then there's
it's on Tubi. I'll be watching this.
Of course, it's on Tubi. Tubi wouldn't air porn. They'd be like, "Are the animals fucking?" Put it on Tubi. 3 months, no question.
I called it massive animal orgy that I could never unsee, and the particular sex scene that is just like, no.
Yutaka's face is.
I'm not watching this tonight, but I will be watching this.
Yes, it's like, and the monster is like so it's just nightmarish. But if you've seen Possessed, which Possession, it is that creature in it inspired this creature. So that's why it's like one goes with the other. I watch Possession or this one, but Untamed is absolutely bonkers. I don't know who thought of it, like who was sitting there like, you know what we need to do? We need to put some animals in doing it, like in the wood, like all the animals of all the woodland creatures. Okay. I wish it was a cartoon.
This
is not the True Blood I was thinking of.
Listen, but Eric get it. That the whole Skarsgård family, I'm sorry, the whole Skarsgård siblinghood could get it. Because they have uncles and fathers. But like the siblings, respectfully and disrespectfully, in front of their wives could get it. I can go to Thanksgiving over there, because you know what I would do? Wreck some marriages.
I respect that.
Yeah. I got goals.
Yeah. Look, I have never wanted to go and inspect a basement so quickly in Barbarian. The way that man charmed the hell out of me, and I was not expecting it.
Can we talk about how Billy, aka Cheekbone Skarsgård, we all assumed he was going to be the problem because he's Pennywise,
Yeah.
He's always the problem. He shows up to be the problem. He will not sign on unless he's the problem. So we're like, girl, you in danger, but I get it. And then he was like, I'm going to the basement. And I was like, girl, you gotta leave him. And she's like, I can't. You see his cheekbones? Like, I have. Go ahead, go down there. When he wasn't the problem, and then he wasn't in the movie anymore, I was so upset. Because nothing against Justin Long, but he's a male Gemini, so I can't trust him. The AMAP Geminis are different.
He plays the same role over and over, so it makes me a little worried.
I, as a Gemini, I just know that once you see that birth chart, you can't talk to him no more. And so I've had to give up on Justin Long. I will watch his work, but also when it comes out he's a mastermind villain, I won't be surprised. I'll be like, well, he was born in June.
Fair. Wow.
Yeah. Have you ever Googled male Geminis?
No, because I don't get into all that. I just know I'm a Leo, and that's all that matters. Typical
that
Leo.
Makes so much sense. That
does.
If you asked me to guess, I would have said Leo, but yeah. If you Google male Geminis, ones to look up, aside from Justin Long, Kanye West.
Oh no.
Exactly. Shia LaBeouf.
Oh God.
45. Those are the three that come to my mind. Don't get me wrong. Like Kendrick Lamar is also one, which is why when Drake started that rap battle, I was like, don't do that. Don't do that. It's going to escalate so fast. And it did. He's like, I have 5 songs about you already. And Drake was like, it's been an hour. I'm going back to Canada. And I'm like, that's why you don't fucking talk to Geminis.
Oh
He
my
busted out his
God.
journal. He was ready.
He
it escalated so
unleashed.
fast.
Oh my God. And he got a #1 hit.
Listen, I can't stop dancing to it. And again, I would never talk to an AMAB Gemini specifically if I knew they were a better rapper than me, which everybody else knew. I don't know why Drake didn't know. But like Seth Rogen about people broke it down. He was like, it started out and Drake was like, hey, I don't like you. And then Kendrick was like, hey, I don't like the way you dress and I don't like you either. And then and then Drake was like, I still don't like you, and that was mean. And then Kendrick was like, you're a bad dad and a pedophile. And then and then Drake was like, I'm not a bad dad. And people were like, Drake, focus. And he's like, take my phone away. I'm going back to Degrassi. Like, and never heard from him again.
Oh my God. I don't like Chet Hanks, but can we talk about that?
That was funny.
It was so hard not to. I'm like, what is happening?
Right. Because at first I was mad because I'm like, Tom, you know, you had to let your son go. You had to give your son up. Like a lot of us gave up diets and shit. Like, why are you talking to him? But then it got funny. Like, fuck, damn. It's because Chet Hanks and Liam Neeson appeared on, I think, the last season or the season before last of Atlanta, basically playing themselves because Donald was having a moment. And he was like, let's bring in all the problematic white people and let them be themselves. And so Chet Hanks was there to remind us who he is. And I was just like, I didn't forget. We didn't need this reminder. I hope that Tom Hanks' other kids are doing amazing. And I hope that Chet enjoyed his 5 seconds in the sun because he won't get another one.
Well, unfortunately, do you know that man is now series regular in Kate Hudson's new show that's coming out?
I don't like her either.
That's fair. It's called Running Point. I don't know if it's is it Netflix? Brenda Song. Now you know better.
Not Brenda Song.
No, not Brenda Song.
Max Greenfield.
He suggested a lot of things. He's been struggling since New Girl ended. I'm not even mad at him. But he wasn't like Promising Young Woman and some other. He started out originally Veronica Mars. And so I don't know why the Hollywood train doesn't let him be a person. Because he's willing to play the sleazy friend. He's willing to play the sleazy friend who does it all. But like, they're just like, no, we already had too many of those.
Yep. No, Chet Hanks booked apparently and blessed, I guess. I don't agree with it. I'll make the rules.
I know I just said I don't like Kate Hudson. I didn't mean to say that out loud because I love Goldie Hawn, I love Kurt Russell, and I love her stepbrother Wyatt Russell. She's not my favorite in that house. Yeah.
I refuse. But... Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen her in anything rom-coms. Really because the rom-coms. That's why. But Kurt Russell, I love him. I never want to look up anything about him.
She's trying to be a singer right now.
No.
Okay. She actually has a good voice, but I'm just like,
is that what she's good at?
I'm not saying it's great. Look, and she decided she wanted to go on a press tour. I don't know, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever works.
Her brother, whose name I forgot, but he was really handsome back in Dawson's Creek days.
Oliver Hudson.
Thank you. He showed up in Dawson's Creek, and I was like, "What do you mean that's Goldie Hawn's son? Her genes are strong." And so that's when I was like, "I'm gonna give Kate Hudson's movie a whirl." I don't remember which one it was. They're all the same. And I was like, "This is not for me. I'm going back to Dawson's Creek."
I remember when she put out. Wait, was it Lisa and the Blood Moon?
Yes, she was in that. I saw that.
That was actually. I was shocked.
I did. Look it up. She was that was a different character. And I was like, is this her? Yeah, but it was a good character.
She did good. Not like when she did Skeleton Key.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. That's the movie I was thinking about. Not Skeleton Key. But that role.
So I've not seen Mona Lisa in the Blood Moon, but Skeleton Key. Let's go back to Skeleton Key. That happened when we were children. And we tried to move on. And then, this new group of white people have found it, and they love saying it's like Get Out, and it's not like Get Out.
It is. Oh my God, no.
Every time I see that, I just automatically block a person. I'm just like, clearly, you don't know what movies are. You don't know what words mean. I don't want to ever see you again.
I've never heard somebody say that, but that's terrible.
It's like Get Out. And that we should have got out of the theater when we went to see it? Is that what you're saying? And that it's white nonsense? Is that what you're saying?
Because it's not a good movie, but Lisa and the Blood Moon. That is also because whoever that other guy is, that was also a very odd departure from him as well.
The boyfriend or like
Ed Skeen, because
Ed Skeen. He looks familiar.
He was the villain in Deadpool.
I've seen that. Craig Robinson is in this? How did I not know this movie existed?
I saw that at Overlook last year. Or no, 2 years ago was it? I think
it might
have 2021. I missed it because like I was still leaving Indiana after a year. I shouldn't have been in Indiana. Yeah,
fair. That was that shocked me. I was just like, this is,
and it was all believable. It was
in the theater. I'm pretty sure it felt like a rave because of the sound. The score to that movie was just all I could see is the guy sitting next to me like. I was like, and then at the end of the movie, it's like, it was okay. I go, dude, you were having a full-on dance party this entire. You do not sit here and say it was okay.
Can we talk about the amount of people who were like, that movie didn't do it for me, and then give it 4 stars? And I'm just like, what? Huh? What? I wanted more 4 stars, and I hearted it on Letterboxd. Why are you lying on Twitter?
I'm not giving it in a violent nature 4 stars.
I like it, but it's not a 4-star movie.
No,
I like
it. Is
I'm glad I just watched it. I just watched it so I can finally.
It's like Lord of the Rings, Two Towers meets horror.
I never made it through Lord of the Rings because I don't have an attention span.
Well, but you get the reference though, right?
Yeah. It makes sense. It makes sense. It's precious. I had fun because I watch slashers to unwind, and I know that slashers are not usually the strongest of the staples. And so I was like, the people act and we are having a good time, and the sound design by game designers sounds amazing.
Sound design's great.
It's gonna be the best slasher of the year unless something spectacular is coming out and nobody told us.
It's great at the slasher part. That's what I like about it, but it was like
it was
I was
boring at times though.
The ending is my biggest note. The ending is my biggest note because
you were not kidding. When that happened, I was just like,
it just dragged.
I was like, what is happening? Is something like, surely something's gonna happen? Surely. I'm like,
no.
Oh, well,
I want to interview them so badly to ask, because they lost a bunch of their shit because it's like their first film they made outside of school. It's their first feature, and so I want to be like, lost all of the things you had to refilm. Did you also lose your ending? Is there a different ending? Can I read it? Can I see it? Because this one is not, it's not the moment. It feels like a PowerPoint. I feel like they're gonna try to send me Prozac or a tampon. And I'm just like, why are you ending your movie this way? What?
I played way all I want to say
the credits. Skinamarink, but it's not that. It's not that. I've actually had somebody come at me and be like, what is your deal with that? I go, it was a Word document. That's why. But
while we're talking about movies we don't understand, The Outwaters opens with a PowerPoint, which is bold of them. However, the people like, it's so good. And so that's why I knew in my heart I shouldn't have tried Outwaters. Because the same people who were like, Skinamarink the shit were like, Outwaters is amazing. I'm like, no.
Outwaters was better, in my opinion, because there was a story.
There was just not a ceiling for 90 minutes. And so, of course, it was better, but like, it was not good.
I thought the sound design was really good in that, too.
That PowerPoint looked pristine.
The Outwaters was one that I did say, but I told you why I enjoyed the Outwaters, because I watched it once and then I watched it again and I was just very, very, very high. Yeah. And and it was a moment, and then I appreciated it, but that was probably, it is the only reason.
I appreciate that writer director posting thirst traps every day. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
Something like, if you're not getting your movie, give them your chest. If you ain't got Dr. Loomis nips, like, because I watched Dr. Loomis run on that trench coat for so long, and his nips haunt me now. I've not been able to look at Halloween the same way.
No more nipples.
Yeah.
No more nipples.
Okay. All right. I already forgot whose turn. Oh wait, no. I was glossing over. Yeah, it is Sharai.
I wish it wasn't. I'm here to bring in the Cannibal Holocaust in the room, because what the fuck is that movie? I do not recommend. It is legitimate torture porn, found footage, early 70s torture porn.
I've seen that. It's not one I'd watch again. Although I do commend when I do see Bush. Sorry.
And you see a lot of it because it is SA heavy. And on top of all the SA, because they were like, we have women, gotta assault all of them. They were like, also, let's rip animals apart. I made the mistake of watching it last year for the first time because I was doing 100 horror movies in 92 days. And like, I never watched this one to do it. And I was like, the whole time. And I was like, I hope this director, if he's still alive, is catching hands as we speak. Because I don't understand this. I don't know how to make a good movie. So let's like rip apart animals. I don't understand that. If you can't make a good movie, just make a bad movie. Like you can come back from that eventually. A lot of people do. But when you're an asshole, you're like,
look
we
at
could have
what's
animals.
his name? Uday Boll?
I hold up because I wrote it down earlier because I didn't know his name because I don't ever want to see his shit anymore. But he is.
He puts out a lot of shit.
I didn't write his name down. I wrote down all the reasons I hate it, but I did not write down his name. So yeah, we're doing great.
10 things I hate about what
Tim or Tom Co-Chief. Let me just Google it because I'm making up names now.
Oh no, I'm just saying, like you're right. You can come back from a bad movie. Like this one dude like makes terrible films.
Listen, there are certain production companies that only make backyard movies. And you know what? That's fine as you don't hurt actual animals and people. But like back in the 80s, they were like, fuck it, we ball. Because I don't know how to make a good movie we're talking about. So
and it wasn't even a good movie.
Right?
I don't even bring it up anymore.
It's grotesque. Like I was like, you know what? Same thing. I saw it for the first time maybe 2 years ago because I was like, okay, everyone talks about it. It's on all these lists. I've never seen it. I'm not a fan of like when animals like truly like. I was like, it's gonna be a hard watch, and it was a very hard watch, and it's not something I ever want to sit through again.
Ruggero Deodato. I know I've not said that correctly. I am from Missouri and I did time in Texas, but Italian filmmaker did that. Again, if you are in a privileged position to make a movie and you have nothing to say, you should find somebody who has something to say and like collab. Don't just be like,
you can direct the movie and stuff. I saw it years and years ago, like it was a 90s VHS, and I was like, this can't be like what I'm seeing here. So bringing it up or looking it up later, I just stopped bringing it up because it just seems like people who like the movie want to be controversial. They want to fight with you. And I was done. So I haven't brought it up in years only because I remember having a conversation with somebody who was like, it's art and the animals and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sorry,
like, wait. There are people out there who like this film?
Yes. There are people.
I'm sheltered apparently because I don't get that. That's messed up.
Twitter's a cesspool. There are people, right?
Yes.
So Jeepers Creepers made by a pedophile. They be like, but it's so good. It's not.
But it's good. Separate the art from the person is what you'll hear. Like,
yeah.
It's not art though.
The people are not.
I enjoyed Jeepers Creepers until I knew the story, and then I was like, well, that just ruins everything.
I saw it as a kid and was like, it's fine. We have better horror movies. Because even as a kid, I was unimpressed. And then I was like, oh, and he's a trash person. I don't need to see any more of these movies. But people are like, I'm seeing the new one. We had so many people pop up in Clubhouse when we were still in Clubhouse and the new one came out. Yeah. People like, I just got a Jeepers Creepers. And we're like, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. You're in the wrong room. You don't have any friends here.
The one that everyone's like, this is probably one of the worst movies ever made. Just in general, they're like, it's not a good movie. I'm like,
yeah.
If it's a Fathom event, sorry, guys. Sorry. I don't want to be that guy, but
you got what you deserve. You go to that. You got what you deserve. Like literally, you looked around the room and was like, I choose violence against myself.
I'm gonna get some stuff for that, but I'm just saying, when you see certain things, I'm just like, oh.
It's like when I hit play on a movie and it's the Uncorked logo.
Yes. What? Why even do that? Just watch the trailer.
Right? No, like the Uncorked logo has become my nemesis because I'm like, I'm not watching that. I just delete the tweet and I do something else. I'm just like, no. You would not give me another $5 movie. It's all filled on like somebody's old first camcorder. The sound mixing is by the same person who's not mixing it. What?
It's so true. Oh my God. Lifetime movies are better than Uncorked movies.
They are. Uncorked is like, how can we have an all-white cast in a new house that was just finished building that we have access to before anybody moves in? Uh,
Wasn't like Randy Orton or Lala Kent in one? I swear they were.
I'm sure they were. I'm sure they were. Because you know who could do an uncorked movie? Anybody. Like, we can send them this. They'd be like, this is your next movie. And like, love it. Done. No questions asked.
Oh my God, that's funny. You know what? That's also trauma. Watch an uncorked marathon.
Before I knew better, I actually did 3 in a row on Tubi because of course they go to Tubi. Of course they go to Tubi.
They'll play them. They'll play them. They think if you like one movie, then they play something similar. And then you end up watching, some very weird movies you didn't mean to put on.
Speaking of Tubi, I will say, because I made the joke about Atlas being an okay movie, the new Jennifer Lopez Netflix film. Here's the thing. I gotta call this out because I was like, this voice sounds very familiar. It's the voice of he voices the character's name Smith. It's the AI. I was like, why does he sound familiar? Because it's Velocipaster. I was like, wait.
Not the Velocipaster.
I was, and honestly, probably gives the best performance.
I mean, we knew it wasn't gonna be J-Lo. Let's be honest. Like,
but when I was like, this voice sounds familiar, I was like, there's some snark, and I look up, I go, oh my God, it's Velocipaster. I go, that is. And I wanted to bring that up in the interview, but like, I'm not. I'm just going to be like, what was it like with this person? Because really, the performance is funny and I enjoy it. But I was just like, oh my God, it's Velocipaster. I can't get past that.
I would have brought it up because knowing me, that's the easiest route because I would have been like, you got stuck with J-Lo. And so we could have been like, you work with the Velocipaster. How was that? Like,
I'm new to the interview game. I had a joke. I had a joke. But I was like, no, I can't say that because I don't I asked the other gays on our podcast. I'm like, how do I go in? Like, I think I have a joke. They're like, yeah. And then George gives me this. I'm like, oh my God, that's great. But then I was like, Liam and I were like, but I couldn't pull that joke off. There's no way I wouldn't have the confidence or I wouldn't have the inflection on certain words. I was like, no, but I was like, that's probably one of the funniest things. But also, I'm pretty sure then they would never let me speak to anybody because it was low-key somewhat like bashing J-Lo. So I was like, oh, no.
Who hasn't? Like,
true. It happens.
True.
Like, to be fair, before people got to not liking her, I didn't like her first. And then her and Ben Affleck got married in his plantation that his family owns. So
Ooh.
like, Jenny from the block. She can't act, can't sing. Also, she was the Motown guest all those years ago because the North remembers.
Yes, with that Motown tribute.
Wait, what?
There was a Motown tribute, and they let her dance and sing a little bit.
And she had all them white dancers.
Yeah,
and like only like a couple of like I think maybe like 2 or 3 black dancers with her, and
more than usual.
Yeah, I was like, and it was just strange. It was strange because it was Motown. It was supposed to be a tribute, and I didn't get it. I just didn't. It was confusing.
This is
because she'll attend the opening of an envelope, and so they knew she would do it, and so they asked her, and she's like, "Yeah, because I can still dance." That's all she's ever been able to do. She was a fly girl in the color. And I'm not gonna lie, Selena and The Sale were good movies despite her lack of effort. But her whole career has been like, who do you know? How did you get in here? And I normally support that because, like, by all means, scam goddess. But I can't support her. Like,
oh my God, this is gonna be our most unhinged podcast. And I say that sometimes, but I'm like, I cannot wait to hear Pugga when he's editing this. It's like, Utaka, what the fuck? I'm like, I know, I love it. This is great.
We're learning so much. We're sharing.
I speak in strays. It's a thing. Trying to find a clip from Lady Massacre is always a joy.
I mean, again, to be fair though, if any of you ever see Atlas, if you do, J-Lo, they're like, I can't tell if I don't know. There's overacting, and there's just like, this isn't that type of movie. Like, you don't need to be like shaking your head and flopping your hair. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Again, I still enjoyed the movie, but it was for everything else.
I just forget about her, and then she'll pop up in the news because she's unaware. And so she'll do
Very.
something, and I'm just like, girl, how much money do you have? Have you seen that clip where she goes back to her block and nobody knows who the fuck she is? Like,
No.
I used to live here. Who are
Yeah.
you?
who are you? And she's like, ha ha. Because she's all like, I'm just Jenny from the block. What block, girl? What block?
Look, I was this year's old, literally this year, when I found out that Ashanti, Christina Milian, like all these people did her vocals. I'm like, what?
Because have you seen
I saw somebody break it down, and it's probably one of the funniest things because I wish I could give you credit. I just saw it last night, and I was dying laughing because he was talking about how when she's performing live, like she can't sing anymore, so she just pop, 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 Kane, sing for me kind of thing. And I was just like, oh my God. I was like, but he's right.
Somebody played isolated vocals. Somebody played her isolated vocals from one of the things she's done. Because she's trying to make a comeback. And I'm like, girl, you need to stay gone. Like, people forget about you, but the kind of thing that could happen to you. But they have the isolated vocals because people actually put that up first. I forgot what the concert was or whatever the fuck. But it's just her. And it's like, and I'm just like, are you having a stroke? Do we need to call 911?
Oh my God. I know a clip where one of like, okay, y'all, if there's one thing like any gay loves, it's girl bands. I can't help it. It's in my DNA. There's a band reuniting over in the UK. It's like they're a tribute to one of their members who passed away from cancer. But one of the singers named Cheryl Cole, she had an incident like that too on live TV in the UK. It was like one of the it was like a charity, like, so she's doing it and she didn't realize that the mic was actually on or something. And so that's what it sounds like. And she's just like, and you just hear, and it's live. So they're still like, they're not cutting away. And she's doing it until she realizes, and then she actually has to sing. Oh my God. Like, I was just like,
Remember when Ashley Simpson did SNL and she was lip syncing and there was no song? And so she did a jig and then left.
I don't want to see it anymore. It's going to live in my brain forever. That, what was that? And then it's funny because you say that, but the J-Lo umbrella dance made me think of that from Saturday Night Live. And I'm not kidding. I brought it because I was like, it's like that time that she didn't know what she was doing. Let's do something with this umbrella. No. I just cringe inside. I just want to I don't want to watch things that make me cringe. It like makes my skin crawl. I just want to just run away.
This is, oh my God, I love this. All right, so I guess it's my turn. This is a movie that is, for like, once you see this movie, no matter what, if you rewatch it again, it is still, I think they also rate, like, I saw this I was like in an Asian cinema kick. And you kind of already mentioned it earlier when you made it plural, but it is Old Boy.
Oh, Old Boy. I saw it for $5 for the first time last year because they gave me a child's ticket because the person working in the counter likes me.
Oh my God. Okay. Wow. To be alive. Like, I still remember because that ending, I'm not going to give it away because that is still one of the best twist endings. And it just sits with you and you're just like, so I love that meme when he's just there smiling and like, I'm like, oh my God,
I love that you brought Old Boy because I have not gone to hell. Old Boy would have been on my list. And also that actor is in a movie called I Saw the Devil, which is also traumatic as fuck.
That is dark-sided.
That one's really dark too.
So good, but it is dark-sided.
I watched that and Ichi the Killer for the first time one weekend
That's another
this year.
one.
I'll never rewatch Ichi. And like, I saw the devil, now that I know about all of the essay happening in it, I can be better prepared. But it's just like, for almost 2.5 hours, we doing what? Just go ahead and kill him already, man. Just go and kill him. He's like, no, catch and release. Like, stop!
Catch and release. That one dragged it out. It was so good, though. I don't think I could watch either of those again. Old Boy is something maybe I'd revisit. The Old
I've
Boy is like,
watched it. It still holds
because
up, but it's just
it's great. It's really a great movie, but it's traumatic. It's like the kind of like sickening, like you want to vomit
it's like a punch to
feeling.
the gut because you're just like,
Yeah.
Speaking of vomit, I forget the actor's name, but the man who is Old Boy, if you
Yeah.
will, the reason for the
Mhm.
season, that part where he's eating the live. I don't want to ruin it for people who've not seen Old Boy.
oh,
That was real and multiple takes, and
Ugh.
his religion, because of his religion, he didn't eat things that were living. Because when I watched it last year, I was like, some cultures
I
they eat live
didn't know
things,
that. Wait,
and so
what?
I was letting
That
it go. I
was
was like, it was real. And because they had to do multiple takes, each time before he did it, he say a little prayer. Because again, I forget his religion. I wish I knew. It's one of the ones I should remember, but I don't. But his religion at the time, he's like, I can't do this. And dude was like, movie. And so he's doing his little prayer, and they'd film the scene and he'd eat it. And then they'd set it up to do it again. And he says a little prayer and then eat another one. And
oh my god, this makes the movie even worse to me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
right? Because after I saw it last year, I went down a rabbit hole because that's the bitch I am. I'm just like, I love it. Let's see what else I know about it. And it's like,
Okay.
I know too much. Put it down. Like,
oh my god.
yeah. But can you imagine him to do that, especially when it's also against your religion on top of it being something you wouldn't normally eat? Because again, like people do shit with food. I'm not here to judge. I have a friend who will like go to sushi place and get like, give me the squid, give me the eel. I'm like, that's too far, Rachel. That's too far.
Oh,
Give me that tuna and give me that salmon. Thank you.
Oh my god. No. I love eel. I love octopus. I love
They eat octopus and I can't. They are the only person who, at the Whole Foods be like the octopus. God. So the Whole Foods like, because you're the only one buying it, we gotta stop doing it. And I'm like, the fact that they know it's you.
That's bad. That might be I'm not saying like, look, I love it, but it's not it's like I don't go to sushi actually, I can't remember the last time I had sushi. It's probably been a while. But even still,
we were talking about it in your Discord last month, and we've not gotten sushi yet. We're going to do better. We have to do better.
I don't eat seafood. You know that. And I was like, I feel bad about it, but I'll eat the things because I'm one of the people who, if somebody serves me something, I would have eaten the bad rice.
Oh,
I would have just been real quiet and eaten it.
This is giving Speak No Evil vibes.
Yeah, no. I would just do it. Dude, that is what. Yes, Speak No Evil. It's like, dude, you don't even know what I have done. What I have done. Okay, no, because I don't want to be rude and say no. Okay, because I have eaten the octopus. I don't like clams. I don't like oysters. And I was in Vietnam last year, and I was. Oh, what else are we having? Mussels? And I don't like them. And I just wanted to be sick the whole time. And I ate everything that everybody, all the food is good. It's just seafood. I just don't like any kind of seafood.
I don't like sea urchin though. That's like the ocean floor just trapped in your mouth.
It's like
texture.
Yes, it's the texture. The texture of most calamari like was one that I used to be able to like kind of be able to eat, but I just can't do it anymore. And salmon, I told
calamari.
I'm like
at Salem Horror Fest this year. It was bad. Catherine Scary saved me. They didn't even know it. They're like, "Are you okay?" So they patted me on the back because I was like, and like the server was worthless because she came out. She's like, "Is everything okay?" I'm like, and she was like, "Oh no!" and got a bunch of napkins because I was gonna throw up. I was like, and so finally I stood up as Kat was patting me on the back, and it like worked its way out.
Oh my God.
And then like the server was like, "Oh yeah, I know how to do the Heimlich," and I was like, "That would have been great when I was dying." Great
but
yeah, when I was dying just now.
No, I can for some reason I can just swallow the foods. I shouldn't say that. That sounded bad. But
you're on the right podcast.
I could just swallow
us
and not say a damn thing. Yes, I have a little magic trick for y'all. I can swallow large amounts of things without chewing them.
Here. What? $10 here is lit.
I ate the mayonnaise salmon. This lady, I was in Seattle, my sister's family on her in-law side, and they kept eating salmon. They were catching it fresh. They're like, "This is the best salmon." And then I went to this lady's house and she had made mayonnaise salmon. She just drenched that sucker in mayonnaise and I don't know, boiled it or something. It was the worst thing I've ever eaten. And I just took big old squares of that shit and put it in my mouth and swallowed up. And thank you, I'm full. And so
I would have been like, "What is this hate crime?"
It's disgusting.
Like, I would have asked, "What is this hate crime?" And I would have left. I would not have
people put cream cheese in sushi. get the fuck out of here. That's not no.
Cream cheese?
It depends
Okay.
on what's going on in the sushi. Because like if it's like a tempura sushi and it's all warm and melty, sometimes
No,
you know,
no.
like it's not supposed to be there, but neither is avocado. And I hate avocado in sushi.
I know you don't like avocado, and I actually like avocado, but I just don't. I don't like. And I've eaten like sashimi and different kinds of raw fish. I'm like, I'll just swallow it. I'll just swallow it. I'm just like, oh, okay, thank you.
I've gone to the. I went to the store and like got a tuna steak, and I just sliced that raw and just like dipped it in a little soy sauce and ate it.
I love sushi. It's probably one of the healthiest things that I will eat on my own. And so I need to have some more, but also like I like the cream cheese because I refuse to have avocado in my sushi. If it comes out with avocado, I'm just like, I said I was allergic, which is a lie. But like, when you don't lie, people push it in there because they just assume people are lying about not wanting avocado. Everybody wants it. Everybody wants it. This is America and it's trendy. And so I'd be like, don't put that on my nachos. Don't put that in my sushi. And people would do it. And then I'd be like, I've paid for this and that green shit is on it. And the color and the texture and the taste are just 3 wrongs for me. So there's nothing making it right.
I love it.
It looks like baby diaper and it tastes like cilantro and it feels like, I don't know what, but it's just
we eat like avocado almost daily. Like I have a lot. We love avocado. I grew up eating it. It's Mexico. It's like, it's our fruit. We eat it, but I'm used to it. Like I grew up eating it and everything, but some strange reason I don't get seafood. Like I just can't the texture of all, but I'll eat it. I admit it.
What this is telling y'all, go watch Old Boy if you've not seen it.
Yes. He didn't get a say in what he ate, but also what if he dedicated to that role? He was like, this movie's going to be good. Yes. And I'm just going to have to learn how to sleep at night with what I've done today.
That's wild to me. It like puts, oh my gosh.
I forget how many takes, but it was way more than I would have done.
Oh my God.
Because they were like, and they would just set it up again and he would do his prayer again and then we would go.
Poor guy. Oh my God, not that scene. That's crazy. Also, do not watch the American remake. I'm to anybody out there.
Never. Of any movie, don't watch the American remake. But especially, I've not seen the American remake and I refuse. I forget who's in it. I know he's not.
Josh Brolin, I think.
No,
Josh, come on, Josh. What are you?
Hey, at a certain point, Will Smith was attached to it, and I'm like, he knows better. At the time, I was like, like this when all that like when was this like 2000 and gosh, I don't remember when the remake came out. All I know is like this is a bad idea.
I don't like that America's like people can't read over here. So let's just make it American, and then let's take all the good stuff away from it.
Oh,
and then
I heard it was like so toned down. I go, well, then you kind of are. No.
Right. Because they love that. They love that. They're like, this is good. Let's ruin it. And I'm just like, why America? Why you colonizers? Just let people go watch the original. I hate it here. And that's why I wanted to defect when I was a child.
You know, two things. Now I'm thinking of it. I just rewatched Battle Royale. Fucking amazing.
Oh, me too. Yes. I watched that like last week.
Yeah, because I was I think we made a joke about the Hunger Games. I was like,
they can never.
Yeah.
Katniss who?
Yeah.
I bring it up because Battle Royale. Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
Seen the sequel. I heard good things. So
I watched the new Hunger Games on the plane back from somewhere this year. It's not good.
It didn't look good.
It didn't, but I was rooting for it because the main girl or the person who should be the main girl in the movie, of course, she's not the lead. But like she seems cool and people hate her because she could be brown. And so I'm like, I want to support her, but I'm not going to pay to see a movie that's 3 hours long and it's the 9th installment of the Hunger Games.
Like, oh my God, they go off on her. And I don't think she says things that are like out of pocket. I think she's very outspoken. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Like,
yeah.
And why should like she literally wants to have roles? She's like, it doesn't need to be another white person playing it. I go, I love hearing that.
And it just shuts the white people. They can't, and so they're just like, I hate her. She's so full of herself. This is like her 3rd movie. Let her be a person. Meanwhile, ScarJo was running around being the ultimate villain for how long?
Still is. Sorry, y'all. I do enjoy her, but I do not enjoy the fact that she seriously thought she could play Ghost in the
Anybody.
Shell. Yeah.
Anybody.
But
Yeah.
She was snatching everybody's roles. And I was like,
Mhm.
you can't, what is your problem? And then finally, they finally got through to her, which was going to play a trans man. And she was
I
like,
remember that. Oh my God.
No.
that was the
No.
one where it finally got
Yeah.
through to her that people really hate her doing this shit. And she's like, oh, but like, what do you expect somebody who would marry Colin Jost? Awareness, not there in that house.
That's
So
true.
listen, he hosted something the other day or the other week, and I was like, he gets jobs outside of
He
SNL.
does.
Like, I was surprised. I was like, oh,
I don't get it, but
no, could never be me. And I definitely had my phase of any mediocre white man will do, but I would have been like, not you, Colin.
I think his family has money though, so
They have to, because he didn't get that far on charisma or talent or uniqueness. Like,
these are all true things, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, so we're on round 3. This I know we had a topic, but this is too much fun. Sorry, y'all. This is so Alma, what's your third pick?
Let me think. Because it's something that made me laugh, but it's still like probably a movie that I don't ever want to see, but I want to make people watch it too. Is the Greasy Strangler?
I'm sorry, what?
I've only heard of it.
The Greasy Strangler from 2016. And
sounds like
this
something I'm gonna keep that to myself.
it's exactly what it is. It's called the Greasy Strangler because there's a man in it lubed up in grease who goes around killing people, and it is so fucking gross. And but it's like not like I don't even know how to describe. It's like the situation of it is disgusting, and
Lubed
there
up,
are parts
like
of it. Yeah, it's like he collects grease and he likes his food greasy. So it's like he has bacon grease and leftover fat from food and shit, and lubes his entire fucking body to where he looks like some sort of monster from a sci-fi horror, something that just got boiled from Mordor and fucking crawled its way out, and then also with his dick hanging out the whole time, but it's a fake one.
Not a greasy dick. Not a greasy dick.
Dangling, yes, that is lubed up as well, and just a dangling like a freaking elephant trunk in the shape of a flaccid carrot. So that is just there the whole time, and it is.
Men, can we all just like you don't need to do like if you're gonna go full frontal, own it.
Yeah, I hated it so much. It was so I just kept my eyes closed a lot, and every time I opened my eyes, I just wanted to cry that I was watching this movie. I made it through the whole damn thing. It's offensive to women. It's offensive to men. It's offensive to Greece.
Not Greece. Crisco's gonna sue. Look,
and he's just like he's eating, and it's him and his son, and they do like a disco walking tour. Yeah,
he is.
Yeah.
Oh,
you can see pictures. Does it show pictures in it? Because if you see pictures, it's worse.
Is this the old man?
Yes, it's the old man. He's the Greasy Strangler, and there's no like. Everybody knows from the beginning that he's the Greasy Strangler because that's the plot of the movie. He's a Greasy Strangler, and then after he kills people, he runs himself through a car wash. So he's standing there getting.
Wait. Okay. That's kind of funny. That's funny. Wait, hold up. Not me going back to Teen Witch, because that's what I'm thinking of. Oh my God.
It did make me laugh.
So okay.
Yeah, I'm like, it is funny, but you don't want to look at the same time because it's like you can't even describe,
and just the idea of him.
Yeah. And it's too much. He's greasy a lot. He's killing, and he's choking somebody, and I can't remember because I'm like, oh God, I just want to look up. Is the thing there? Yep, I look up. There it is, and it's just there permanently. It's just there permanently, and then he's wearing like these fishnet pants at one point, which are kind of cool, but nothing underneath.
Not gonna do my Rocky Horror Picture moment.
Oh
Not
my
gonna do,
god,
like,
I
I'm taking further.
am gonna have to watch
So,
this now.
That's your
but
movie
now I
tonight.
tell
That's your
people,
homework tonight.
I'm like, but watch
Not
it. But I
tonight,
want
God,
people
no.
to watch it. I'm like, I feel like I want to watch people watch it, and so like I got my husband to watch it, and I'm watching it the whole time, and it's just like, what the fuck? And the
Oh
grease,
my god.
there's the grease. It's just, it's what you imagine, like a real, like if you took your jar of bacon grease and scooped it out and rubbed it on someone all over from head to toe, Sharai, in the hair, in the feet, everything.
I mean, this is not an attractive father-son combo, y'all. I'm looking at the actually,
It
hold up.
is.
I'm focused on this poll quote right now. Insanely compelling and funny. One of the best movies of 2016.
No. Who said
Okay,
that?
Empire.
Name names.
Empire. That's it. Just says Empire magazine.
They
So.
were getting
No,
outside
it is.
that year.
It was like, it's something that I'm like, who thought of this? But in like the sicko way, not in the fun way. but you can't help but laugh at points because it is absolutely absurd. But it is just, I just couldn't believe that they started off with the greasy guy, the greasy strangler.
Wait, it won
No, what?
an award at the British Independent Film Awards.
The British are wild. I love it over there. I don't always understand what's happening and what's trending, but I do love it over there.
Like, they ruined food for me. Well, I didn't want to eat dinner. Like I did it. I just was like, I'm not going to eat now. I'm like, I saw that. And
this is going on the watch list. I need to know.
And don't worry, the son shows his too, and it's also a piece that they added to him. And
I don't want to see it.
Mm-hmm. And it's the opposite. Like if you invert it, that's what it looked like.
Oh, not an inverted greasy peen. Not an inverted greasy peen. Oh, I'm gonna throw up. I can smell this movie. I've never seen it, but I can smell it.
Yeah, it smells like musty cheese.
It smells like crusty taint.
Oh God!
Tartar sauce.
Yeah, it did. It made me gag a lot. It was weird because I'm like, usually I've seen really gross movies, but this is just like a different kind of like gross. It's like it's different gross. It's like,
okay.
That's
wow.
Oh,
okay,
damn.
So Sharai, this is your moment.
So I don't normally leave movies I rent unfinished because I am a poor. But about 20 minutes into this one, I was like, I want to fight this movie. And I assumed it was white nonsense because also it was a Blumhouse movie. I found out after it was too late because I already paid for it. So I was like, oh, Blumhouse, this is gotta be white nonsense, right? So I was shooketh when I found out that A Woman of Color made Soft and Quiet, another movie I will never watch again. And I would never finish.
Oh, wait, A Woman of Color made that?
Yes. Right? That was my journey when I Googled it because I was like, I'm not gonna finish this shit. So I Googled it and I read what happens. It only gets worse. It only gets worse. And A Woman of Color made it. And I was like, are you okay, girl? And I was like, you know what? I take my question back. I don't care if you're okay. I'm not okay. But
it's a movie. It had a lot of people trying to defend it too, which
white people.
Yeah, that
have you ever gone to Rotten Tomatoes, just like looked at the critics who were like 100, 5 stars. One of them was talking about how they found hope in that movie at the end when one of the bodies goes to the top.
Wait. I'm sorry. Hope in Soft and Quiet?
Right.
Are we talking about the same movie?
Right.
Because there's no hope in that movie.
I was like, I guess there's hope for people who want to commit hate crimes, but like the rest of us are not doing well right now. And it was another Twitter thing because like people who were Black and women were like, why is this? And white people were like, you don't understand. And we were like, shut the fuck up. But it's Twitter, so there's no let me listen. Look.
Oh, and it's terrible because this came out in 2022.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, like, I watched this and because I remember telling Jordan, like, this movie's wild. Like, this is wild. Because the dialogue, things that happen, it is
the pie. When that pie came out and we lingered on it for like 3 minutes, I was like, no. But I was like, you know what? And then I made it to like the grocery store when the girls walk in, who are the only two people of color in the whole entire fucking movie. And I was like, oh no, miss me. And I hit stop after they left that store. It's like, I don't want to go where this is going. And I'm glad I didn't. Because again, when I read what happened, I was like, I want my $3 back.
Yeah, no, the movie is wow, yeah, no, it has a wait. Oh my. Wow. Yeah, no. I'm just seeing like people's like reviews right now, and I'm like, no.
It made me want to fight so many people. And of course, like one brown man who had to be like, I'm CW Brown, so I want to side with the white people, wandered into the conversation and tried me and Chris Love of all people. And I was like, you could have sat down. You should have sat down.
I never watched it. I saw the premise, and I don't like trailers. And so I just listened to what people were saying, and then I was like, and I asked Sharai, because I was like, that's usually who I'll go, did you see this? Because I need to know before. And I don't like spoilers. So I need to know a little before I go into a movie, and I'm glad because I didn't end up watching it. But I'm like, that's one I'm not going to ever.
If you just want to read about a hate crime, bring up the synopsis. Don't watch it. Just the synopsis gives you all of the hate crimes and all of the assault, because again, white women just gone rogue. And I was just like, but like, we just do all this and there's no comeuppance, there's no justice, but critics who are white found hope in it.
Hope.
Because this is showing you what America is like. I'm just assuming that's where they're coming from. Like, I don't know, because I can't watch that. Like, no. I remember, like, I just remember texting George. I go, what the fuck? I was like, at the first, I'll be honest, I was like, first, like, this was a great movie. And then I was like, wait, hold up. I was like, did I drink the Kool-Aid? Let me think about this. And I was like, oh no, wait. I go, no, there are so many like, I was like, okay, no, I was fooled. And then once I started to see the conversation, I was like, oh, no, this is actually making it worse, because it what it tells me is, like, they thought they were going to tell something with this movie, and instead they're just I think they're proving its point. Like, it's not.
That was when I stopped trying to have any sort of decorum when talking about how bad the Blumhouse movies are. Because I was like, if Jason's producing that shit, he can go and catch me outside his van. I'm done. I'm done. And they've turned out nothing but trash this year. Because we opened with Night Swim, then we went to Imaginary. And Strangers Part 1. So, like, Karma caught Jason real fast after that shit. Karma caught him real fast.
I am bummed about Imaginary. And I say that because I like DeWanda Wise.
She deserved better.
Yeah.
Have you seen the wig? Did I make you Google the wig?
You did.
Oh dear.
I made a couple people do it. It's not. It's big. I thought the monster was in the wig the whole movie. And it was not, and they missed an opportunity.
Yeah. No, like oh man. No, but I will say this. People will shit on Imaginary. Can you tell me the difference between that and Five Nights at Freddy's?
Also shit. But Five Nights at Freddy had cool animatronics and Matthew Lillard, but also shit. I was one of the few critics who was like, it's bad. Because everybody's like, it's for the kids. The kids deserve better. The kids have other movies that are better. Don't be trying to give Jason Blum a pass because you want to work with him. You can make a bad movie anywhere. Uncorked is right there. Tubi's right there. You don't need him anymore.
Yeah, that movie made so much money, and honestly, I watched it. Liam enjoyed it, and I was just like, it was okay. I was like, also, I'm like, y'all know the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, he's not a good person.
Yeah, and I watched
kids next year.
Oh no, another one.
I don't know if he's that bad yet, but like I was just saying, because he's not.
Okay. I watched Willy's Wonderland before I saw the Five Nights at Freddy's, and then I was just I was like, this is kind of the other one was made. I don't even know which one got made first. I enjoyed Willy's Wonderland because I kind of like unhinged Nick Cage. I have an issue with it. Like, I need to watch him just kind of be himself.
Nick Cage is a genre all on his own.
Yes, I don't know. It's something. He's wild, and I'm here for it.
He was at South by this year, and we sat like 3 rows in front of him and to the right. And when they got up to talk about that movie Arcadian at the end, because he just flown back in from the Oscars, so he was on top of being Nicolas Cage, also really fucking tired.
Yes.
So you start staring into space every once in a while, and you hear what they're talking about, and it would be nonsense. You're like, why are we discussing that? And you go back to saying it nonsense. I'm like, Grandpa doesn't want to be here in his linen suit. Like, let him go.
Arcadian was okay.
Jaden Martell has grown as an actor, and that creature was really cool. And I don't need to see it again.
Yeah, I named the things that I liked about
true.
it. Great monsters. He was
what they did
at
the end with the monster.
Beautiful
like
monsters.
That was
I was like, what? Yeah. Make a whole movie with that monster. It was great. It was like, what the hell is that? It was just that was great. That was great feature effects there.
Okay, all right.
That's also when we found out Jaden Martell can get into bars now. Because I was like, he's got to be underage. Get him out of here. Because I'm like, we are not that old. And he's living his best life at South by, no drink in hand. Because I guess he was like, people are gonna ask questions. But like he could get in there, and he had the wristband and everything. Like, I don't like this because he's supposed to be a 5-year-old. He was just in the lodge yesterday. Why is he in here? This is an adult space. Yeah.
But what you should get from this is don't watch Soft and Quiet. Just don't.
No, don't watch it. Don't. No.
There are a few movies in life where I would be like, don't watch it. I want to fight it on sight. That is leading the parade.
There was a lot of fighting on Twitter, and it was like, honestly, I sat back because I was like, this is not my battle. And you are very true. So many white people. I'm like, y'all, this is like, shut up. Like,
that's how I felt watching the they/them discourse, because there were people who were not binary and trans being like, I hate this. And there were cis white people being like, I love it. And you should too. Also, the person who made it is gay. And they're like, he is, but he's not binary or trans. And we're trying to talk to you about why we're upset. And they're like, I can't hear you because I'm white. And I was just like, please stop. Please stop.
I liked there were aspects I liked about the film, but that film, it said a lot more with how it depicted certain characters, and also just not a good movie.
Blumhouse again.
And they thought they were, like, I give them credit. They thought they were doing something. They were really pushing it out with like the marketing, and for me, at least from the outside until I'd seen it, I was like, this is kind of nice that they're trying to get behind some type of story like this. And then you see it, and you're like,
I was really happy we passed on the screener and the interviews, because like First Street has not been around forever. We're like, Kevin Bacon, that'd be fun. And we were like, Blumhouse, I don't think we should do that. And we didn't. And I'm happy we didn't, because some podcasts who took those interviews had to be like, we did this before we saw the movie, everybody. We're so sorry. Like,
I'm going to tell you right now, I was not sorry, because the interviews were fun. Because George and I traded barbs during the interview, and that was really fun, because George had this really cool question, and he's like, now your question, kind of like, I was like, oh, you want to go there? I was like, all right. I'm looking at George. Okay, you white British man. No, I was like, okay, you gonna be like that? I was like, so Monique, how is it getting to play an actual, Asian American queer person? Let's talk representation, which I actually really did want to ask in general.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it was a heartfelt question, and George is like, well, how do I follow that? It's like, you don't.
Mary Share, follow that, you bitches, on one of her farewell tours, which is dressed as like the circus person. I love her farewell tours. Every time one rolls around, it's a good year. What?
But I mean, yeah, no, I was happy to do the press tour, but yeah, that movie was again another film that really stirred discourse and was not my place to say a damn thing, really.
All I know is whenever I hear Pink Noun, I'm triggered, and so I'm not able to enjoy her music anymore. That's all I'll say about that.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. They took a lot from me, Blumhouse. They took a lot.
They took. Damn, Blumhouse. All right. So, we're on a downer in a sense, because I'm gonna bring a downer of one. Okay, so this film. I'll actually say trigger warning too, because the purpose of this film is literally, it's a 10-minute grape scene.
I think I know what it is. Is it French? Is it because I almost brought that here. Yep. I can't finish it either. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So I had to finish it because I was doing a watch along with somebody I was doing a reaction, and it was funny because like Nick's like, you're like not saying anything. I'm like, I don't know how to make a joke right now. Like this is, and I will say, I thought the way that everything was in reverse, I thought it was like that was really unique to me. But I will say that scene is haunting. It's never going to leave me. Like I could never watch that film again. I would never. That scene just feels so real, and it's upsetting, and it doesn't need to be like, I mean, it is like 10 minutes long, and it is just, it's, oh my God. There are things about the film that I'm like, that's cool. It's a filmmaker, but
Irreversible is one of the movies that let me know I don't need to be fucking with French extreme horror. Many moons ago, back when I was like in Kansas City, I fell into like a film group, but it was all white dudes who are older as usual. It's like talking about her dress in that scene, and I was like, what? And so like the person who I should have been talking to showed me the scene, and I was like, you're talking about a fucking dress in this, really? But I forgot the name of the movie because I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this shit, and so life goes on, years go by, and Jasmine Girl That's Scary is like, we're gonna watch Irreversible because they have French extreme horror on Shudder. And I'm like, okay. And we open with them talking about Assaulted Spice Child and people just like men just naked on the fucking bed. And then like the things start spinning, and then we're like in a room and there's like a lot of naked old men and the things are still spinning and it's still like really assaulting. I'm like, I can't do this. I'm nauseous and I know where this is going because I remember this now. And I dipped. I was like, y'all have something in here, it won't be fun. I left.
I watched, I watched the entire thing.
I got motion
again.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I won't.
Again,
that scene specifically.
That scene is, there's just, oh.
It's definitely one of those times where you're just like, we really need to like sit down with men to be like, you should make film anymore. If this is what you want to do, you want to make a 10-minute scene in your movie, which also I found out it's in reverse because it didn't get good reviews when it was straightforward. And so he recut it is what I had heard. I've not followed up on that rumor, but it will make a lot make sense.
Wait. Hold on. I'm just trying, because so originally it wasn't in reverse?
That's the rumor I've heard. And I've not dug too deep into it, but it would make sense. Because again,
then that see that to me right there, that would, I'm not saying there's anything like that ruins what anything that I gave like in terms of creativity. Like I thought that like how like watching the entire film and seeing like the way they're able to do those scenes and all like that, I thought was very unique. That was interesting. That was a perspective I've not seen. But if this wouldn't been like from beginning to end, like a straightforward, like the movie would be like, this is awful. And I will say they did not glamorize anything. It was so to hear somebody talk about, oh, the dress, I go,
right?
Are you fucking kidding me? What? That's what you focus on? The dress?
Again, older white men. Because like the only people in the room who were women were me and my friend at the time. We're not friends anymore because I'm a Gemini and I don't freaking forget. But like we were talking to women in the room and they kept going on about the dress. And then finally the dude that I shouldn't have been speaking to, was like, I'll show you the scene. I have it downloaded, which red flag.
Wait,
and I was like, yes.
That's definitely a red flag.
Yes. Because I'm just like, you just watch this and you have it downloaded. And so I'm imagining I know what you do with this download. Because
that's disgusting.
Yeah, that is really gross.
Because I mean it when I say that scene, I had to make sure I was like, I didn't go into a deep dive because I didn't want to, but it's like, I just want to make sure, what does the actress think about this? Because it looks so real. And it is, I don't know how, it is probably one of the most unsettling things I've ever seen in film, just because I couldn't tell where.
Like reality blended in.
I couldn't see that separation. And it was like, I'm really just sitting here watching this. And I was like,
It's also before intimacy coordinators were more commonplace. And so you know,
oh yeah,
that dude bro set in France was like, fuck her. And so there were no safeguards or not enough safeguards, whatever the safeguards might have been.
It's yeah. I would tell you, it's not one I'm going to recommend. Like I said, I can certainly see certain things, not the dress, Jesus. But it's just it is. Yeah, I don't ever want to see anything like that ever, ever.
Yeah, I do. I
I
do.
will say I feel good about myself being like this. It's just so like
Yeah.
you feel sick, you feel nauseous. All I wanted to do was like something needs to happen to this person right now.
It was on my short list of movies I might bring up if somebody brought up one of the ones I had. But we took the assignment differently, so I didn't need it. um,
Yeah,
That's the beauty of
I'm
this. Yep, we don't have
unfortunately
set rules.
I feel like I'm always I might accidentally watch things sometimes that are just like, oh, what the fuck am I watching? Maybe I'll turn it off. So I've turned off a lot more movies than most people probably because I don't look at trailers and stuff like that. But one thing I
Mhm,
started doing in recent years is looking at the parental warnings, which are
mhm,
mostly silly, but you'll get in there. So if you have like content warnings for SA or something like that, that's what I'm looking for. And so I ended up skipping some movies, probably that one, because I have a favorite movie buddy who loves French extreme movies and some other movies, but we always look into it first just to make sure that like it's
mhm.
gonna be it's cool with me. So like I've gotten through a lot of movies, and most of the time I feel like as long as it's like the focus of it, as long as it's not gratuitous, as long as it's not
Oof.
heavily played on the screen, I can usually like watch it. But if it's something that's like the front and center of it, I just can't do it. Like I looked
Honestly,
up,
the yeah. Oof.
yeah, I'm
yeah.
like when I watched Martyrs, for instance, I like went to go look at I looked it up because I wanted to make sure, and they were very specific, even in the movie, that there was no sexual abuse and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So that I was like, okay, then I'll throw it out. What kind of disturbing is this? Most of the time, deal with other disturbing
I
things.
was gonna say because Martyrs is pretty.
Listen,
Yeah,
listen.
that was like I was like, this can't be if it doesn't have that in it. How extreme is
I mean, I
So
guess you could then watch Inside.
I've not seen that one either. Again, I once I found out that like a lot of French extreme horror relies on assaulting women, I was like, I don't need to be here. And so I don't watch a lot of it. Because like there was it's not Switchblade Sisters anymore. It's
high tension.
thank you, thank you.
Hmm.
Um
Mhm.
Hmm.
I watched that one and I was like, oh, okay, so maybe. And then I irreversibly, I was like, oh no. And then I saw another one at Soho Horror Fest like 2 years ago, and I was like, how many times can we assault this woman? Damn. Is there what else are we doing here? And I was like, I'm just gonna stop. I'm going to stop. I can visit friends. I can like eat all their cheese and baguettes, but I cannot watch those French extreme movies. Um,
Hmm.
I don't. I'm thinking. I don't believe Inside has SA. Um, but it is still. I so David, one of our co-hosts, he's into like he's seen almost everything because he's like he's even told me like we talked about movies like you'd never recommend or watch again, and he's seen Sallow. I'm like, what's that?
oh,
Wow.
Yeah, and he
oh,
told me what that was. I go, why would you have watched it? What? So like he's seen so many things, but he's like, no, it's not good. Don't watch. And he's like, you know what, you should watch Inside. I go, all right, okay. He's like, no, it's, and he'll joke, it's wholesome. I go, I know you're lying, but all right. Well, that is extreme French horror, and but I don't believe there's any of that. But it's an insane film because it is about this woman the day before she's about to give birth being terrorized in her home by somebody who wants to get inside her house.
is it Jason Blum trying to make another movie? Because terrifying.
No. I will say this like this was the back of like I think there's going on in Paris. Like there is like a central story, which as after I saw, I was like, oh, that is kind of predictable in a sense.
Mm.
But it has some of the craziest gore, and this chick like fights like tooth and nail. Like there are like some good like I was like, oh, okay, but it's something else.
I gotta circle back because I have a Silo story. I've never seen the movie. I actually found out about it a couple of years ago because, like, one of the places I write at that is not horror movie blog is Dress Central, and it came up in a list because I was like, Reddit says these are the most disturbing movies or whatever the fuck. And so because I'm me and I'm tired and I'm doing 9 other things, I pulled a picture from the internet of Silo,
Was it
and
the
it was
poop?
kids in a wedding dress. I'm like, that feels weird, and I just put it up as a
Oh,
featured image. And luckily, we have editors because what I didn't know is those kids, the wedding clothes were in front of a wall of prepubescent boys and their dicks were out. And
yep.
so like my editor was like, you looked at that photo too closely, did you? I'm like, what photo? I've moved on. That was 3 articles ago. What are you talking about? And it was like, you almost put up porn on the site. And that's why I'm happy that I now hit publish over there because I saw kids in a wedding dress and I kept going because I didn't have my glasses on. And I was like, there's a lot of people behind them. I don't know what they're doing. And dicks were about. So yeah.
Yeah, that movie is. I've never seen it, but
I
I remember when I was editing the episode. I was like, I need to find an image that I can put like either box art. And when I like pulled up and I'm like, oh my god! I was like, what? No! I was like, David. He's like, mm-hmm. I was like, oh, I don't need to watch that.
These were
Yeah,
wild.
I'm not gonna look it up.
You don't need to, yeah.
No,
But if you just read the story though about the filmmaker, because that is wild.
About the filmmaker?
In terms of like, I think he was murdered, but it was like the film was like stolen. Like, there was like the final, like the film itself was stolen and they had to hunt it down. Like, it's crazy. Something. Hold on. It's not like. It wasn't like, like Jeepers Creepers like that. But no, this was more of like somebody stole the final cut of the film and they had to they were ransoming it and but yeah, and I believe the filmmaker was eventually murdered. It was just like, that's crazy.
That is wild. Now I want to Google. I'm gonna
just double check as I say.
I'm trying to be sneaky, get in my phone to Google, and I put in so many different wrong numbers. That's why you're trying to be sneaky. I should just been I'm Googling this.
He was openly gay and he made this film. Well, that's bad.
I have questions.
I do too. Okay, yes. Exceeded what most viewers at the time they considered explicit. Yeah. But where does it talk about? I swore I read that, but maybe I didn't.
Now we're going to be doing a deep dive later.
I am
later because but there's so many things called Silo that I'm not getting the one I need. So I'm just gonna Google her.
You're not thinking of the 100? It's the 120 Days of Sodom.
I'll put that in. Yeah, thank you.
I swore I'll have to find that though because I was like reading about it because I'm like, how did this how was this made at this time? Like, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. That's too.
There we go. 1975. All the pictures are disturbing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You can just tell me about it
later. I'm never gonna watch it.
During production, some reels were stolen, and the team demanded a ransom for the return. So using doubles, the same scenes were reshot, but a different angle. And at the trial, he was murdered. It was wow, yeah, no, that's crazy.
Oh, I'm reading about his murder on Wikipedia. That's got to be a hate crime.
Yeah.
That's just sad.
Well, I mean, the movie, I can't believe he wrote that or
he wrote it too?
Screenplay written in collaboration. I don't know what made him think to write this.
The person they arrested for it served 9 years in prison.
Wow.
That's it. Wow.
Well, when was this made? In the 70s?
Mm-hmm. And then retracted their confession 29 years later.
Ain't that some shit?
I didn't know all this.
Yeah, like, it's crazy. That's the only thing I've not seen the film, but I just went and I was like reading about it. I'm like, this is fucked up. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, there's another film I'm sure that's traumatizing. I'm never gonna see it.
I never will. But also, he was murdered the year the movie came
Came
out.
out. Mm-hmm.
That is so. I knew none of this. Um, I'm sorry. The movie came out in Paris on the 23rd of November of 1975. So yeah, it definitely came out after because I believe I just read. Let me scroll up. November 2nd is when he was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So it was a posthumous release.
I can't believe they released it, to be honest.
Same, because like that was definitely around like the video nasties era, and so they
Mhm.
were like put a red stamp on that bitch. And so I don't know how this got through because again I've not seen it, but the pictures I have seen
I
and have
know it's
heard.
bad. It battled like censorship and all this, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But I will also say, speaking of rating system, have you all seen Challengers?
Not yet.
Nobody
Mm-mm.
dies in it, so
Mm-mm.
All right, fair. It's actually really good. It's really good. But
I love Zendaya.
let me tell you something though. It was rated R for graphics, nudity. I go, huh?
No,
And I'm
I
sitting here
don't.
thinking, wait, what? Oh, because there was just two schlongs in the background, like
Oh,
literally, not in a sexual manner, just like
oh,
this person walking. Like that's it. That
that's
that
it.
was your graphics sexual. I'm like,
Oh,
it wasn't
That's
even erect. It was just a man walking out of a shower because
so they gave it an R rating for the
I mean,
nudity.
no, there was language and all this, but that the
yeah.
Or
scene in
language it was.
particular where that I would assume, because that's really
Mm-hmm.
the only nudity aside from you see somebody's butt. That was the only actual nudity, and because it's full frontal, it's considered graphic. I go, okay, that's weird. I was like, what?
The rating system and the industry still acts like male frontal nudity is taboo, but they will make a bitch walk in tank first every damn time and
Right?
be like
Mm-hmm.
PG-13, and I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm very fucking tired of seeing like all these naked women being like thrown around and like the men in like tracksuits because they're cold. I don't care if they're cold. Like if they're gonna get naked, don't cast them because if she's gonna get
Mm.
naked, he needs to be able to get naked too.
Equal
Equality, tit for tat.
equality.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. Dick for tit.
Well, I mean, Luca Guadagnino, he's on my shit list anyways, because I
What?
just didn't know why he constantly like. I mean, he is queer and telling queer stories, but never cast one queer person.
I don't know the boys in Challengers because I don't think they do horror, and so this is news to me because I assumed, and that's what I get for assuming anybody did anything right. Yeah.
No, in general, like, well, Challengers is just queer coded. I
Oh.
mean, it's but if
Mm.
you think about Call Me by Your Name, if you think about, um, oh,
Bones and all.
yes, and then of course he's got the new one called Queer coming out with, he played Bond. Why, Daniel
Uh,
Craig and somebody else. I'm like,
Daniel
huh?
Craig.
Yeah,
Daniel
yeah.
Craig. Oh my god. No, but I have questions, but also I don't know a lot about him. I know that somebody
He's a
on
good
Twitter said he's
filmmaker,
married
but
to Celine Song, who I
oh, the
haven't.
writer,
Yes.
Justin Kuritsky. You know they
Okay.
have a freaky marriage. Just saying. Also, past lives, heartbreaking.
I wanted to see it at Sundance and they didn't give me the screener because like I know her as a playwright and I like her work. Because I'm
Oh.
a former theater
Oh,
kid. I'm trying to survive it still. And so I was gonna see it for free, but like it's a romance is what I found out. And so I'm like, I'm gonna watch it for free, but still I want to see it because it's her, not because I want to see a romance. I hate romance. But I'm gonna try because I like her work in
it's
playwriting. So
good.
I'm hoping those themes end up over there too.
It is. It's a fantastic movie. Like, hmm. Drew Starkey and Daniel Craig are playing. Are they queer?
Eee.
Are they lovers? I don't know, but yes, yeah, an American expat who becomes infatuated with a younger man. So again, I
Oh.
just have issues with
This is
the.
also Daniel Craig's second time because I didn't finish Glass
Mm-hmm.
Onion because why would I? But like Hugh Grant was his husband in that, and people were like, yes. And I was like, did it get better? Because like I made it like an hour and 2 minutes in, and nobody had died yet, and so I turned it off. There's another hour and change to go.
People only like Daniel Craig. I actually do like him as Bond, but they like him because he's easy on the eyes and he's willing to show everything he's got. Because he's done that in several scenes in several movies, and I'm not talking like casually just standing there. No, in a bath, full on splayed out. Like he's like,
we need more men. We need more men willing to do it. Because like Peter Dinklage was like every season of Game of Thrones I offered because like I see all the women who are again just like open and around, and I'm like I'm willing to do it, and they're like we don't need it, Peter, and I'm just like when you mention it, Peter, I have not seen a whole lot of dicks in Game of Thrones. It's a game of hoes because like the girls are just like get out there, and I'm just like
you only see the one that traumatizes you.
Because Matt Damon, as I call those writers, were not here to hear anybody's notes or to give a shit. They were like, we're two frat boys in a trench coat. Come at us.
Yeah, Benny. They just did Three Body Problem, which everybody loved. I wasn't a fan of.
When I found out they did it is when I was like, I'm not going to watch this. Because again, I got suckered into watching Game of Thrones. And look where that led all of us.
Hold on, wait, no. Game of Thrones was good up until the final 2 seasons.
Until the final 2 seasons, but also when you think about it, like they already were showing their asses because they were just like, this is definitely one-sided. We're going to get all the women characters naked before the end is done. And they fucking did. True. They came back for Arya Stark. Wow, I just picked up an accent. The second she was 18, she was naked. She was 18. And I was like, so you waited until like her parents upset and you're like, guess what? It's your season. Let's go. On the way out. And I was like, miss me. Also, that Starbucks cup on your scene, the least of your problems. Because I didn't like Sansa, but having her be like, it's okay. If I hadn't been assaulted, I wouldn't be the bad bitch I am. Fuck you.
That was so out of like I'm like no. Because
I was mad about how they were handling Khaleesi, and then she said that, and I was like, even she deserves better writing. And I could not stand her the entire show, but even she deserves better writing after what she did her last season specifically. So again, Matt Damon can catch these hands, and I hope nothing but the worst for them. And every time this shit gets canceled, I'm happy. I'm so happy.
I mean, that got renewed, so
they were gonna do that revisionist history show where the South won.
I remember that, and I was like,
no,
y'all. That was a big Game of Thrones follow-up.
Yeah, whoever told them that was a wise I remember when that was announced. I'm like, who said this was a good idea?
Listen, they got real bold because they were like, we got over on them before, let's do it again. And the people were like, no, the North remembers.
But y'all, this has been a journey, almost 2 hours. Pug is like, I'm not editing this, and you know what, maybe I won't have him edit this. We're just gonna let this freak flag fly because this was a lot of fucking fun.
I'm learning so much. It's educational.
So yeah, like I am just but to both of you, thank you for stopping by. So I always like to say, first off, Alma, where can they find you? Always plug again.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. I can be found everywhere is the same because I'm basic like that. Alma Lovely, Alma Luvlee, and that's on the Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere. And you can also visit where we write over on horrormovieblog.com. And
I also, guys, I put all that in the bio and all that, YouTube stuff. And Sharai, where can they find you?
You can find me at Miss Sharai on Instagram and Twitter. That's 3 S's in there because I didn't know I was going to be telling the people who I was so often. But we are surviving and thriving. And when you find me, on Twitter or Instagram, I have the handles to all the places I'm writing and all the other things I'm doing because I do too many things. Again, I'm a Gemini. So if I keep moving, my trauma can't find me, right? And so... you can get into all the weird articles, all the weird podcasts. Yeah, it's a time.
Look, I still, it was that Tubi. This is how I like, because I've been following you and all this, but it was watching was it The Evil Tyrone? And it
Yes,
had
the Out
like
of Pocket
6 or
series.
7 of you, and you all were talking about Tubi stuff, and I'm like, one of the I was like, I'm gonna follow each and every one of these people because that comedy gold.
The Evil Tyrone is really good about putting people who know of each other together and having chaos ensue. And he is an amazing chaos leader. He is a chaos leader because he's like, I got questions. And we're like, what are these fucking questions, Tyrone? Where'd you come up with this question? And so I love those. I've not done one in a while, but like that's another YouTube channel to follow because like he does the stuff over there. I love the Evil Tyrone.
Yes, and also because I just started following them because Mike introduced. We don't like to mention Mike's name since he's, a Believer fan.
Oh, that Mike. Oh, because I'm like, wait, people on the scares. You didn't say Believer, Mike. We love that Mike too, but like
Believer, really?
Believer.
Oh my
I
Is it
we
For
had
the
them.
Love of Horror?
Yes,
I just need
an episode.
shout them out. That too.
Oh,
Is it for the wait, hold on. Oh, that's
the found footage one.
oh, I forgot. What did he call this? He has, you know what? He hasn't done his podcast yet, so that's
Right.
on you, Mike.
Follow Mike Unofficial and tell them
Yes.
to start the podcast because the girls are waiting. The girls are waiting. We had them on because we did not know. We've been following Mike for a while. We've always interacted. Mike's always been cool. We had them on for an episode covering the Blair Witch Project. And the way Mike cracked both my entrance face the entire hour, I was like, "You've been sitting on these thoughts for how you like what? You like what?" And like for those of you who don't know Fear Street, Trent's the Paul Abdul. But even Trent was like, "Oh,
Not the Paula Abdul. Stop it.
yes,
Oh my God.
It's an ongoing joke because I'm all like, this sucked. And Trent's like, they had nice shoes. And I was like, that's not, come on, man. And so like,
I do that too. I do it. So I have to catch myself because
I'm like, no.
I need to find where is there.
It's like the found footage.
we follow it though.
I hope this gets edited because Mike is going to be like, my friend.
No, it's not.
I'm doing. Like,
Pugga's like, I'm not editing in 2 hours. And I totally, Pugga, I love you. And I wouldn't have you do that. No, is it For the Love of Horror? Oh my God.
it's like fan footage.
Not the, well, Mike introduced, I think you've had them on as well. Why can't I remember her name? Lovely couple. They also have their own show. But I saw
yes,
Love of Horror. You're talking about different. I was gonna figure out Mike's podcast. Yes.
Mike, your podcast don't exist, boo, yet. Love you, but it doesn't work on that. Also, because you watch football.
What?
I thought they were playing in our faces. I thought they just didn't want to do whatever we were doing that day. I was like, if you don't do the watch party, say you don't want to do the watch party. It's not mandatory. They were serious about watching football.
But Love of Horror cracked me up with their because I haven't done the review yet, but so I'm not watching other people's reviews of In a Violent Nature and the fact that they put like too much walking or so. I was dying. I was like, because that's the like that was just like one of the glaring things of this film. Like, yes, the transitions are nice. Yes, the sound design. Yes, that one scene where Johnny's standing and like the orange sky, like walking through the field. Like
that's
gorgeous.
That was that. I was like, ooh,
the kills, specifically the one
kills.
kill. That's
Y'all,
all I'm gonna say.
I watched it twice. I went like rewind because I got to have the screener. Now I can read everything about it now.
They put the clip out there because I watched somebody react to the kill.
Oh, really?
And I was like, and that kind of pissed me off a little. I'm
That's
like,
rude.
What? I was like, oh, like, and they're a very big YouTuber as well. Like, they're actually really funny, even though I do think they make way too many gay jokes and they're not queer. But whatever, they're still really good.
It could be so many channels. Is the sad part. Like, I'd be like, is it one of these 10? It would be like that episode of Maury where she came back for like the 6th time. It did not find the father still.
I've seen them stand up for a lot of good people, so that's why I'm like, okay, they seem like really good people. But I was like, why are you reacting to that one kill and describing it like that's like one of the hot, like nobody should. I'm not going to ruin that kill for anybody because you need to go in, and that is its saving grace. Because I will say, not that it's the only thing when that happened, because as soon as I saw that, that's when I was messaging you. I was just like, kind of boring. But then suddenly he starts moving faster and it picks up a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was my favorite moment for a very long time. But also, I have a sick sense of humor, so some of the stuff later on got me, and I was like, yeah,
it's the highlights. Those are the best parts.
It is.
Yeah,
and it's the first feature, so they'll do better in theory the next time around, unless they hook up with Jason Blum.
Let me put it this way: that your first feature is doing that. That's creative. Like, again, in a sea of so many remakes or sequels, it's nice to have something that is unique. Again, it's a new perspective on the slasher genre, and to see it broken down like this, I love that. So to me, I was like, kudos. Like, again, I agree. I bet you're gonna do great stuff.
Yeah, I want to say Chris Nash is the director. Because him and some film buddies, because they all went to film school together, and they were talking about it in their post interview about people would be like, you see this movie from this bigwig director and this other pretentious director, and they'd be like, yeah, do you see this one horror movie? And so they found each other real fast in their film program. Like,
oh man, I could go on y'all. It's been 2 hours. I could go on a rant about pretentious directors.
Jason, some of the grandpas gotta stop. Scorsese.
Yeah, right. Ooh, you and me both. Like, I remember seeing people defend that shit.
Listen,
y'all. I'm sorry.
Every time they're just like, he does this way. I'm like, no, he doesn't. It's not been good for a minute, girl. It's not. Yeah. You're remembering the good old days. Right now, you're holding on to a husband who no longer wants to talk to you. Please leave the house.
Personally, I do love that. Is it his niece, whoever is on TikTok? Those are great. Those are wholesome. Yeah. I love that. Like, if you want to retire and do that, do that.
Because what he's doing right now is ruining his legacy. Because, again, I was a kid, most of his hits came out, and so I only remember seeing them as a kid. And so to see what he does with women now, and to see how he centers white people in a movie I'm never gonna fucking watch, about people who should not be centered. That I was like, this feels like a different community's Green Book to me. And white people are like, I love it, like they did Green Book. And I was like, that scans. I'm never gonna watch that shit. And I wish he would stop making movies so we could preserve the legacy that he used to have, because right now he's just doing harm. He could be a really good influence. He could be like, I'm going to teach film, I'm going to talk about film, I'm going to help cultivate film like I always do. I'm going to keep
that
TikTok.
Would be amazing.
Uncle Marty.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be on TikTok, but
his niece will take care of it for him, because again, it's hard because he's just not with the conversations that have happened over the last 60 years. And why would he be? Because once you're that kind of a director, nobody is giving you no's. They're letting you do whatever you want to do, and they're saying thank you. But the audience is not.
Irishman? How much did that cost? And did you see that they couldn't learn to de-age hands?
Here's what sent me. I never watched that movie either. I've not checked out a Marty movie in so long. What I hate about that is that you have an award-winning Anna Paquin who has no lines, and when people call you out for it, you're like, she's just a proper actress, she doesn't need lines. And I'm like, that's not.
She has an Oscar. It's
I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't give her an accent, Suki. But if you give her, you just let her speak. Let her speak. Not in the South. She's gonna give you something, and you're just like, all the men are talking and she's just staring. And I heard that that's also what happened in Flowers of the Killer Moon, which I'm not gonna watch on these movies. And so I'm
not seen that. I don't plan to see
either. Me neither.
Again, when white people are like, it's so good for that community, I know it's not good for that community. And so I just go ahead and stand 10 toes down outside.
The only thing I was very happy is Lily Gladstone. I'm very happy for them. And, but it was kind of like when there was somebody on the red carpet, it's like, no, they don't even speak. I was like, he just read this film down in one sentence. I was like, that's.
I was like, why is Leo the center of your movie about Indigenous people who were murdered and it's based on a true story?
That's one of my. It's such a pet peeve of mine. If it's a story, let the story be told. Why does it always have to be about some white man? I can't do it. It's too much. It's happened too long.
I am infamous for yelling, if you want to be a good ally, shut your mouth and open your wallet. He could be bankrolling so many movies by so many brown people, by so many queer people, by so many women. But instead, he's like, let me tell the story. And I hate it because what happens is the Academy is like, it's a Marty movie. Let us. And so the Academy is giving it awards, and the people who supposedly this movie is for are just like, miss me. Again, I think that because he is Marty, he could be like, I produced this. And people would be like, we have to at least go watch it, even though it's made by brown people. Fuck it. But he's not doing that. He is centering himself in Leo DiCaprio of all people. Like,
I don't get it. I don't. I really don't.
Has Leo been good anytime after Titanic? Because I feel like after he got snubbed that year, he stopped trying.
I did like The Revenant, though. But I think he
I saw
just
that
got
trailer.
I think he just... I think he just got that award because they're like, all right, it's his time. Like, I mean, again,
like he, like
I
he earned it.
I can't remember who was up that year, but let me put it this way: like, I already forgot what I was going.
Listen,
the award.
He was giving a younger, less annoying version of Bradley Cooper's Chase for the Oscar.
Bradley, just stop! You're killing your career. Well, not your career, your legacy, in a sense, because I forever still love Silver Linings Playbook. That's probably one of my...
It was fine. I used to really like Bradley Cooper because, like, I watched Alias before Jennifer Garner was on my nerves. Or Julia, I don't remember.
It's Jennifer
Garner. It's Jennifer Garner.
That's right, because my date's Jennifer's. That makes sense. But like, I grew up watching some of Alias. I didn't get to finish it, but I was like, oh yeah, Bradley Cooper. He's made it a leap for the movies, and I watched some of his movies, and he is now making just the most pretentious drivel possible because he knows that's what the Oscars want. They want movies that are not accessible and nobody enjoys, but people who are snobs. And he's like, I got another one. Here's Maestro, and I'm like, I'm not going to see that. I was in London, and the people who were lined up for Maestro, I was like, are y'all serious? They had to like open up other screens and shit for it, and I was like, for Maestro? For Maestro? Are you serious? And people were like, are you going? I was like, never.
Who was
never?
Carrie Mulligan, because she's actually a good actress.
I love her so much, and I wanted her to not.
She picks some bad roles.
Listen, I feel like I think that I mostly have gotten along with her in Emerald Fennell's movies, and I know people hate Saltburn because they love to hate Emerald Fennell. Nobody explained why yet. Yeah, she was Poor Dear, I forgot the name, but Poor Dear, whoever the fuck. And she had the wig on. She was having fun, and I was like, see, she was living her best life.
Yeah, but y'all, we're probably still gonna talk anyways. But this was a long episode. I'm probably gonna make this 2 parts, but seriously, this was so much fucking fun. And if you don't listen to it, that's on you. I should, do the YouTubey things, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what movies have traumatized you. Ooh, maybe not. I know some of you people. No. But hey, we also have a Patreon where you get things early. We have a thing called the After Hours. It used to be like filthy, but now we just let you know what's going on in our lives, and you realize we're actually really boring. But we love it. And then we have a membership, thing to where you can watch movies and TV shows with me, which is interesting. I should be selling this better. We're watching Twin Peaks. It's pretty much my first time watching Twin Peaks.
I'm sorry you chose that. I made it 1 episode in though, so I don't know if it.
I'm not mad. Honestly, y'all, mainly because Joan Chen's in it and she serves face. Piper Laurie, love her. And it's just a really interesting show.
I know Clarence Williams III appears at some point in some season.
Who?
Clarence Williams III. If you've seen Tales from the
Hood.
Yes.
Yeah, because he was Mod Squad as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Another actor who was disrespected in his life, and not even a year. But I almost went back in when I found out he was there in one of the seasons that I did not make it to. Obviously.
I will have to see. No, it's the thing. It's why actually I think people have done some of our memberships is because we're gonna watch it all. We're watching season 1. We're in season 2. That starts next week, and then the movie, and then follow-up season. Yes.
That's a lot.
Watch some really good Mute Witness. I've made you all watch Turbo Kid. If you've not seen Turbo Kid, that is it's horror-ish
It's got a
because
kid.
of the gore. No. Well, no. Just trust me when I say it. It is like it is your synth fantasy mixed with so much gore and this cute little pixie as well. She's adorable. It's and one of the best bangers of a soundtrack. But when I say gore, but this is where we'll end. So thank you, everyone. It's a long, drawn out ending. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you both being here. This was a lot of fun. I do think the fly just ended up giving up. So
Dying.
yes. No, I know it's here somewhere, resting. But with that, I will say bye.
Bye.